What is it about the environment here at WashU and Siteman, and this question is for either one of you, that you think has led to this and really made this a standout place for this type of research?
Well, I think that there are some aspects that are fundamental to the foundation to allow innovative clinical trials to be developed. And I think the first thing is just world-class clinical care before you can even get to the sophisticated clinical trials. You know, the surgeons, the medical oncologists, the radiation oncologists, the pathologists, the radiologists, all of the staff and the nursing staff. I mean, all of that team has to be world-class. And I can tell you, I've shared patients with Karen, and you have to have lots of Karens to to take just amazing care of our patients. So that part has to be there, and I think that really is very obvious here. The other part of it is the basic science. I mean, these types of approaches are rooted in fundamental, rigorous basic science. I think that's something that is heavily invested in here. It's very valued as part of our DNA. And for example, Bob Schreiber has played a significant role in developing some of the fundamental principles here, and he's a senior and very established scientist.
International.
I would say intergalactic. Yeah, we're recognized
and a good guy
scientist.
Too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I did my PhD with him, so yeah. But I completely agree with that. So those things you have to have. But on that then is the soil for innovative trial designs like this. Then there has to be a nucleus of experience that develops and evolves over time. For example, getting to some of the points we touched on, how you identify the right targets, how you design a trial to be able to do that in a clinically actionable and tractable time frame. What should be the right targets? How do you deliver them? I have to certainly recognize the relationships you also have to develop with pharmaceutical companies. Sometimes these trials are combined with other agents, and certainly those companies, produce those agents. So a lot of relationship building, expertise development, on top of the just fundamental basic science and a commitment to world-class clinical care. Just all those parts have to be there.
It's a robust environment.
Yeah.
And I understand it includes is it a good manufacturing practice facility? Is that an actual lab where some of the vaccines are made here on campus?
Yes, absolutely. And so when we talk about a vaccine, those can be delivered in a number of different ways. So sometimes they're little pieces of protein called peptides. Sometimes they're DNA platforms, and specifically with the latter, that's something that the institution here has developed terrific and deep expertise in using that GMP facility you talked about, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because you certainly, from a logistical standpoint, you have to have structures like that to be able to produce some of those types of vaccines. And we're very fortunate that we have an excellent track record with those types of production facilities here.
So from the care team on backwards, it seems like everything's in place for this to happen, and that's exactly why it's happening.
Exactly.